Welcome to Terry's Kitchen, where we talk food, faith, and family. Today we are going to be making our version of a broiled grilled cheese with a delicious heirloom tomato. But first I'd like to read out of the NIV Bible, Psalms 1. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers. Not so the wicked. They are like chaff that the wind blows away. Therefore the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the assembly of the righteous. For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish. So thank you for letting me read that. Let me wash my hands and we'll get started. So today, as I mentioned, we are doing our version of a grilled cheese, and we're going to have here a loaf of whole wheat bread that Ron made. I'm so proud of him. It's delicious. We've already ate one of the loaves, and so one day I'm going to have him get on film as he's making the bread. But I'm going to slice 2 slices off of here. So let me get it around here where my left hand can do the cutting. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put, just to give the bread a little toasted prior to putting it in the broiler, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut another slice and we'll see which one we're going to use. I want to be able to, for the slice, to handle one of these slices of tomatoes. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the toaster. So I have our broiler on, so that's heating up. So I'm going to put our bread to the side. If you have homemade bread and you've cut, certainly just once the open section, just put it down flat on a plate or covered. So what I'm going to do now, so we've got our bread, where our bread's toasting. I want you to look at this heirloom tomato. It's the middle of April, and I've already had these tomatoes. I got them from the Winchester Spring Valley Market, and it is so good. The tomatoes are so sweet, but it's an heirloom tomato, and I thought, let's have a grilled cheese with a tomato. So I'm going to slice a healthy slice, nice thick slice, to put on our bread to kind of build that. I do not eat cheese, and I know it's a sad thing, but I'm going to have the onions on mine. Ron will have onions, but he'll also have a slice of cheese. So this, I hold things and cut. It's probably not the best way, but it works for me. So I have a little bit of a purple onion, or red onion, whichever you want to call it, and in the fridge. So I wanted to make the slices very thin. Because the broiler, basically we just kind of want to toast that cheese for Ron, and I want my onions kind of toasted a little bit. I'm going to slice them very thin. Okay, so I have them ready to go. I have some cheese. It's not quite, unless you buy it at the grocery store, but we can't grow our own basil yet because of the temperatures. So I had gotten some dehydrated basil, or you can use dried basil, and I thought we'd sprinkle that on as well, and just kind of building on that flavor. So let me get our bread out from the toaster. You do not have to make, that's going to be hot, so let's do that. You do not have to toast them really dark. It's just kind of getting just a little bit toasted. maybe stuck there. There we go. Okay. So what we're going to do, I have just a baking pan here. I have put some parchment paper down because I like cooking and baking with parchment paper. So I'm just going to put our bread down. So I'm just laid it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first put a big nice chunk of that tomato. Now that tomato is going to hang over that bread. That's okay because we're going to have to eat that with a fork and knife anyway. So here's another large chunk. Now is that not wonderful? I'm loving these tomatoes. And you definitely need to stop by. The market's on 50 in Winchester, and it's definitely well worth the visit. So I'm going to slice off a little bit for that tiny one there. Okay. So then I'm going to add some salt and pepper close to our tomato. We like lots of black pepper. Put a little salt. But this is a great Saturday afternoon lunch or even a weekday lunch, or if you got busy, your kids are playing ball this time of the year, you know, you can make a quick meal before you head out. So I have the onions that are sliced very thin. Just going to put them around. Like I said, I just went to the refrigerator, had some of these still hanging around, and certainly don't want to waste food, so it's a great way to use up the last bit of onion that I had in the fridge. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit of that basil over there on top of that tomato, and it's certainly going to look pretty as well as tasty. So I'm anxious for basil to be where I can just go out back and pick some basil, and it'll be very nice. Okay. Now, because Ron has this, I've just got some sliced cheddar cheese that I'm just going to put over. A couple slices. I'm going to give Ron that, and then I'm going to leave these two here bare because, again, I can't have the cheese. But I'm going to just put another slice on top of there. So this is ready for the broiler. And see, it's very colorful, and it's just going to be a quick meal. Because I have the broiler on high, it's not going to take very long. So just hang here with me. And again, if you like tomatoes, I have had one of the yellow heirloom tomatoes. And I can't tell you how sweet they are. So, and again, it's so nice to be able to get a tomato in the middle of April. So, it's just wonderful. So, let's give that a check. And again, you want because you've already toasted your bread, you just want to brown and kind of toast the cheese to let the cheese melt. And I'm going to toast that onion and let your tomato get a little warm, and it just quite tasty. Let me get a hot pad out. But I don't burn myself, and I don't damage my trusty board here. Oh, I'm smelling just from the broiler. The onions are roasting, and just a wonderful aroma. Okay. And the basil. Okay. So here, and now, again, I don't want it really brown on top. I just want that cheese to melt down into the tomato for Ron. And I just wanted those onions and the tomato to heat up a little bit. So I'm just going to dish us up. And again, it's like a glorified grilled cheese, but instead we're doing it in the broiler. And it just brings on a whole new flavor. I'm going to get mine here. We're going to get us a fork and a knife, and we are going to enjoy our quick meal, and I hope you do too. So I want to thank you for watching us virtually. We love that you come into our kitchen. If you like our videos, certainly go to our YouTube channel, Terry's Kitchen. Hit like, hit subscribe, and share it with your family and friends. And I thank you so much for joining us today, and blessings.